another wild Mustang that we're gentling. Her name is Sky. And she has a very sensitive head, sensitive nose, and we've been taking our time to teach her to allow us to touch her face and her head and be able to put a halter on her. One of the things I have been working on is being able to bring her nose towards me. And I first started that with a pretty sturdy stick, like a horsemanship stick. And I would put it around her nose and I would teach her to bring it to me. And then once I started getting that, I started putting this halter around her like this, and then allowing her to see it. She doesn't like the visual part of it either. And I'm helping support her with the lead line around her neck. That way if she starts moving away, she actually put her nose in it. That's funny. Might take advantage of that. Just go ahead and put it on there. She self-haltered herself, so that's wonderful. So that was just it happened by accident. I don't think I could recreate that. Put the halter where the fly is, maybe, and see if she'll put her nose in there. Maybe that should be our strategy. But I have been putting it kind of, she's dropping her head too. We've taught her to drop her head. That's good too. But I've been kind of putting it around her neck, trying to get it on that side and just bringing that nose to me like this, not even haltering her. And I have to usually support her with the neck rope. Once I do it a few times, I can usually just do it with the halter. You can see that the halter touching around her nose is not her favorite thing. And what she started doing, we were already able to halter her, but what she started doing was evading the pressure. She's not afraid of us humans. She comes up and she likes to be petted on, but she just doesn't like the feel of the halter. And she got to the point where she was not liking the feel of that. And sometimes there could be a physical issue. There could be something in the mouth that's causing this. So we're giving her the benefit of that, and she may just be protective over her nose. Who knows? I don't usually spend too much time trying to figure out what's causing it. Oftentimes I have found it's just something they have to work through, something they just don't particularly possibly like, and they just need to get to the point where they're accepting of it, even though they don't like it. There's a lot of things I have to do in my day that I don't particularly like, but the rest of the sessions are better, and we don't always just focus on her nose. So we make sure that she's enjoying her time with us as much as possible, and we have a lot of feel-good moments in the sessions, not just doing what she doesn't like. Good girl. So to break it down, we can also just take a lead line and just make sure that we can go around the nose. And sometimes I'll try to catch it where I have it like that. There we go. And kind of resembling that touching of the halter. The lead line actually feels a little bit nicer. I am purposefully using the sturdier type halter. This one is actually from Michael Gascon. It's our Kathleen makes us those softer halters for the more advanced horses. But I have found that with these Mustangs, it's nice to have the sturdier halter where it's holding the shape on its own, like for the nose. I even have a snap here that keeps it open and also on the bottom so it can go easily on her nose. So that's another tip there. And Michael designed these halters with the extra knots on them. One for a little bit more pressure on the horses that are not very responsive to pressure, but also so that we can hook that snap on there like that and be able to shorten the make this nose piece a little bit smaller so that it fits them properly, so the halter's not sliding up in their eye or is not in the wrong spot on the nose. This is pretty good. Another thing that I've done with her is I would just do the little ingredients of her nose coming towards me off the stick, off the rope, off the halter. I would just put the halter there and just kind of tip her nose, and then I would walk away, and then I would walk up, pet on her, do it again, walk away. I do a lot of walking away. You can see that today she's actually accepting it pretty good. So I like how she was dropping her head and didn't react to the halter too much, and so I didn't have to walk away. The next thing I start working on is she doesn't like us touching the nose, and I'll just get her to where she'll accept it like that, at least for a few seconds. And then again, I could walk away or just retreat. She's starting to get better about it. There, she kind of pushed into my hand and I backed off. So I've been working on her curiosity building. I'll even kind of like put my hand towards her nose as I'm walking backwards and just wait for her to kind of reach towards it and get curious about it. And sometimes she kind of will toss her head, and see there, she's kind of pushing into it just a little bit. She kind of like bowed up and kind of leaned towards it. And I'll take the hand off of the nose when she's thinking, there she's thinking away, and I'll wait till she's thinking towards. There was just a slight little movement. It was about that tiny, and paying attention to the slightest little things like that. And then retreating when she does that, building her confidence about her hand being there. Yeah, that was pretty soft there. That was pretty soft. Very good. I'm gonna take her for a walk, retreat, and we'll do it again. It's a pretty hot day today. I usually work her in the round pen. She's licking and chewing, blowing out, relaxing. That's good. But we've been in the 90s with high humidity and thunderstorms going around, and this kind of slow and small stuff is something we can do on a day like this. There's so much we can actually do and train without even moving the horse's feet. And I take full advantage of that because we have about 4, 5, 6 months of pretty high temperatures here, and here we have some shade. Our round pen isn't shaded, so these are the kind of things that I work on, and it's these kind of bonding sessions and calm, connected sessions that make the partnership so much better when we do start asking them to do more and move around more, and they learn how to stay off the adrenaline. Good girl. I'm gonna go to the side, and I'm gonna try to go under. It's a place I have only been like one time before. Again, she's going kind of towards it and almost trying to like grab my fingers. Gotta be careful I don't get bitten, but I don't think she's one of those horses that would do that. But just, oh, or will she? And I don't even know that she wouldn't strike with her front leg trying to get my hand off of it. There we go. The next thing I would like to start doing is putting my finger in her mouth on the side. And I believe I've done this one time before because she won't take treats yet. She won't take treats yet. And I was wondering if I could stick one in there from the side, but obviously she doesn't like that either. Good girl, you're okay. You got flies on you. She does eat treats out of the bucket, so there's something about the sessions where the anxiety is still too high, even though we focus on a lot of relaxing and calm stuff, and she's still got a little too much wild in her when we're working with her to be able to I'm trying to hook my thumb right here under the halter so that my hand stays with her. Good girl. There. When her head's going up and down, my hand actually stays with her. It's a little bit dangerous. If she flips her head too fast, my thumb can get twisted. So I have to be really careful, make sure that I follow the movement up. There we go. Good. Very good. Good job. Okay. Go see what the other side looks like. Okay. Yeah, this side is a little more protective. I'm just going to work on getting to this side first. Just asking her to give me access to it. Got a whorl right here on the side of her face. It's very interesting. Notice that. And I try to kind of start in places where she will allow me, and then work towards the zones that are a little bit harder. She did not like that. No, no, no. Don't want her going into me. That is not the answer. Away from me is not the answer. Into me is not the answer. Very good. Good job. Now she's suspicious. It's important to keep those boundaries. Good girl. That's better. Probably didn't like the smell of my finger there. Good girl. Yep. So I put my thumb on her gum inside her mouth, and she didn't like the feeling of it. Yeah, you're okay. Okay. There, she's moving towards me a little bit. I take the hand off again. When she moves away, I usually try to kind of like move her back a little bit, whether it's away or towards, just put her back in the same spot as quickly as I can, and trying to get back to where I was at, ideally as quickly as I can. You can see I'm pulling on the lead line to discourage the moving away, so that her moving away is not the place where she gets the release. Her actually accepting my hand there becomes the place of release. You can see she just inched back towards me. So she's looking for comfort, and it wasn't that bad, was it? But she's not quite all the way sure about it yet. Very good. I'm going up her gum now again. There we go. Good. Oh, that smells different. This mare usually picks her nose up like that when we're teaching her something new. It's not always related to the scents. This mare usually picks her nose up like that when we're teaching her something new. it's not always related to the scents that she's smelling. Hers just have an extra sense that we don't have of being able to smell fine details, kind of like dogs do. And that's what they do when that lip comes up. And yep. But this is not about smelling. This is about, this is new for her, and it's almost like a displaced behavior. It's almost like a anxiety release for her. So I'm gonna take her for a walk, and we'll try again. I'm gonna go back to the other side now. Go back in the shade. It's too hot, too hot. There we go. These are a little triangle here. We're working. I know, the ears. Gotta be able to touch the ears too. Good girl. So right there at the corner of her mouth, there's already a threshold. And so I usually try to get closer to where I'm trying to go, but I don't just blow through those thresholds. There she kind of softened, so I backed off. I get to the point where I feel like they already don't like it. Like right there, she's avoiding. She's dropping her head, trying to get away from it. And then each time I try to get a little bit further. There we go. Just spend the time on that. So hopefully one day this horse is going to be a riding horse. But there's so much to be done before we put a saddle on. We got to be able to pick up her feet, give her a trim. A veterinarian or a dentist needs to be able to look in her mouth. Should be able to touch her nose, just in case she ever has anything going on there. And or maybe I need to put a little bit of sunscreen on it. Should be able to do those kind of things. Good girl. Starting to get a little bit mad about it. And that is her personality. That is her tendency. And just because she's getting a little bit mad about it doesn't mean that I need to back off, because these kind of horses can start bullying you eventually and calling the shots about what they allow to happen, what they don't allow to happen. And obviously I am asking permission that she allows me to do that. I don't just grab her and force it on her. But I am trying to teach her that it is not anything threatening. That's most likely her biggest concern, is the threat part of it. I am in a very sensitive part of her face, and or she may just not like the feeling of it, like we talked about earlier. And when we ride, eventually, hopefully, we should be able to put a bridle in there. And I can already see from opening that mouth that she needs a dental work done. She's already 7 years old. She needs her teeth leveled. You can really see it now. I know. I was just trying to look into your mouth a little bit more. So get closer and stay longer. I'm looking at her teeth right now, seeing how much dental stuff they need up front. The other thing I can start feeling for is like wolf teeth, and I can start rubbing my index finger up there, looking for those, and eventually look for sharp points. I usually do that with my thumb. You're okay. That was a little bit different. Yes. No. Good girl. So exaggerated. So usually I try to get the thumb in from the side, and then I stay close to the close to her skin, kind of pushing my thumb upwards, and I can feel sharp points right there. Ooh, they are sharp. So there's a huge sharp point right here where my hand is, and that alone could be a reason for her to not like being touched in this area, because I bet you anything there's ulcers on her skin against that sharp point. And I bet you anything it's the same thing on the other side. And when we put these halters on, when you have a horse that reacts to the pressure of the halter, those molars, they go way far back here where this halter is, and you can be pushing that skin towards those. I mean, the points are sharp, like almost knife sharp, and it is very important as soon as you can get a dentist out and them accept a stranger walking up with a needle, being able to sedate them to go ahead and get their dental done, because once you can get in their mouth, obviously, oftentimes the sedation on these Mustangs doesn't work as well. They push through. So like if I don't work on being able to get in her mouth, even under sedation, it might be very difficult for the dentist to be able to safely get in there. And yeah, that was a lot better. Good. Walk away. Give her a little break. And then we'll do that from the other side. And I think that will be a good ending point for the session. I don't like the sessions to be too long, especially when they're up on anxiety like this. It's already been 22 minutes on my video. So there we go. Good. Good girl. And you can see that she's the type of a horse you don't want to surprise her with anything. Eventually, as she gets calmer, we can use more variety and start doing things she doesn't know yet with a little bit more frequency, and we can do them a little bit sooner and quicker. But right now, everything I'm doing, I'm letting her know it's coming, so there's no surprise. For one, it's a better journey for her, better learning experience, because I'm keeping her calmer. For me, it's a safety thing. So if I do something too quick with her, I believe this mare would protect herself. And these older mares, they come with a lot of wisdom from the wild, and they can pin ears, they can charge, they can strike, they can bite, and they can be pretty quick at it. And I haven't had it happen a whole lot. I have had it happen some, but not, it's not very common because of the way I approach them. But that doesn't mean that it's not in there, and that doesn't mean that it's not something that could get triggered. Like you can see that this mare's tolerance level isn't very, very high. So just something little like this gets her pretty upset. Good girl. So now I'm going to try to take my right thumb and change my position. There, she's already avoiding. She doesn't like things around her eyes. So like we do a lot of this kind of stuff. She doesn't like things in this area here. Yeah, see that? A lot of horses don't. A lot of wild Mustangs don't. So I'm going to shorten the lead line. There we go. Just accessing the zone where I need to go, backing off. And then we're going to do it again. Start where I know she'll let me. So go on the jaw. She likes to be petted here. Let her know it's coming, like I'm keeping contact with her. And I'm just rhythmically trying to get that thumb in there. Good girl. I know. I know. So close, but not quite in there yet. Get that thumb in there. Good girl. I know. I know. So close, but not quite in there yet. And you can see that everything is where I can't get bitten. I mean, I could if she really wanted to, but my hand is blocking her. If she comes towards me, I can push her away. And never had them try to bite me. So I was able to touch her first molar up there. The first one there. I don't, ooh, there's a sharp point. So on the edge of it, there isn't one, but in the middle of it, there is a really, really sharp point. Yep. Oh my goodness. I wish you could feel what's in there. I mean, it's like, I don't know. We'll have to get a video of it once we get the dentist out. It's huge. And it's right about 2 inches from, about that far from upwards from the corner of her mouth. So when we put that halter on, if we don't put it high enough, and I don't even know what kind of points are up here. Sometimes you can feel them with your hand, but I really don't want to be pressing much on her because, I mean, I could press and make her react probably, but I don't want to do that to her while I'm trying to gain her confidence by being touched. But I could probably press right here in this area and get her to react. So when you're teaching them to lead, you're teaching them to disengage, pulling on this lead line. Horses can flip their head, try to have a pain reaction and toss their head, flip their head, pull on you, rear up, try to bolt, run off, all those things. And some of those reasons could be not having had the dental work done yet. So we have to be mindful of that. And obviously, I've got to get her ready for the dentist first. So we're working on that, and hopefully soon we'll be able to do that. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of idea of how to approach one that's sensitive around the face and how to put a halter on a wild Mustang that's reluctant about having the halter put on, especially if they're avoiding the halter with their nose. And there are things that I also have done prior to this. And that is, we can also, I'll show you one more thing. We can also take our lead line. This is something I do with pretty much every Mustang before I ever put a halter on them. I'm gonna hold the halter here. Whoop. We don't get tangled in it in case she moves. So you can take your lead line, and you can kind of create a halter with it like that. There we go. You can make a little cross underneath. There we go. And then I usually will stand in front of them. So I have a little cross under there. And then I take my rope and I make sure that they're okay with the touching of that rope on the nose. And I will usually only do a little bit and release, a little bit and release. I hope you can see it. There we go. And you can even start tipping their nose a little bit and releasing. So you can actually make a halter kind of sort of that can come on and off. And I actually start leading them like that. You can see she's walking towards me there. I will start leading them by the little made halter like this. You can take them for a walk. And you can even play with controlling the nose where the nose is turning. You can kind of raise this up and turn it. And you only do this if they're accepting of you in front of them. Some of these Mustangs can strike out. You don't want to be in the strike zone. They can get nervous. But the cool thing about this is if they get too nervous, you can just let go of the end of the lead line, hold on to this part, and it will all slide off. You can also have it little bit longer, you can have a longer lead line and do it from more distance and give them more space. So I usually do this kind of stuff. Good girl. Being able to control that nose like that too. So all of these things we have done with her. I have also done this with the stick and string or a lunge whip, either one of those. You can throw the string over, grab your string under the, sometimes I put a little rhythm in it so the string flies towards me, I grab it, and then I can do the same thing with that string around the nose and the leading part too. But a lot of horses don't like things, a lot of wild Mustangs don't like things over here. They can't see it, they're very protective of this area. This is oftentimes where predators can attack and kill the horse instantly under the throat latch. So they're behind the throat latch here. They're very protective of this area. So I spent a lot of time here. So I hope this helps you. If you like this video, make sure to follow and subscribe. And you can also check out my online courses and learn more step-by-step in my online program for posture focused training. Or you can look into the Liberty online courses and get better with your horses and establish a good partnership with a methodical system that's step by step, where you will increase your horse's calmness, relaxation, responsiveness, connection, and hopefully you'll start getting some flow and harmony. And we will hopefully take the frustration and the guessing where to start and where to go next out of the situation by following a methodical process that's step by step. So I hope you join us and join the rest of my successful students that are already benefiting from those. And the biggest thing is we're helping these guys learn how to be with us, knowing where to be, how to be, and being able to relax into it and eventually have fun.